Now, normally, what the main structure of the show is to do a first segment of news and a second segment where I go into sports. But this one is going to be a little bit different because you smell that? You smell that? Football is in the air. Football is in the air, folks, and I could not be more excited. So I'm going to switch things up a little on account of, football on the horizon. And we're going to start with the world according Kyle sports. TWA2K sports. Let's get it. Okay. Well, we're gonna get a few of the side topics out of the way before we finally dip into our first sets of bets and our first sets of lines and our first sets of preseason analysis from the NFL. We'll get some of the other sports out of the way first. Just a quick touch up on them. All that we need to do, because there are things we need to be talking about other than football. So let's go get that out of the way, and we can have a good time shooting the shit. This Sunday afternoon, mind you, with some football. Okay, so first lineup is I want to kind of play UFC Matchmaker a little bit. Now this could be just a complete pipe dream, but I think this would be Dana White, heavy load meme of like the century. Okay, so I was thinking Volkanovski and Ortega are going to be fighting at the end of September for UFC 266. Now, I am anticipating an Ortega win based on how he was looking. Now, playing Matchmaker ahead into the future, how would this sound? Ortega versus fucking Holloway for the belt. Oh my god. The thing is, I thought Holloway won the second match against Volkanovski. This match with Ortega probably shouldn't even be happening, but Ortega coming out looking like a world beater his last outing has put the UFC world on absolute notice, and he's a type of guy who can go toe to toe with a Volkanovski and come out ahead. So I'm really rooting for that to happen. I would love to see that happen, because Holloway versus Ortega, if Brian Ortega is the type of fighter that we seen just fucking style on zombie like that, if he is that type of guy, then the Holloway and Ortega fight would just it is like a it's everything like Conor fans want in the Conor fights, but like UFC, real UFC guys, like that would be something to behold. And just regarding the Porier situation, how he wants to fight Diaz, is like, I don't think that's a fight you want to see, but in the same circumstance, I really don't. I guess I don't mind Porier fucking milking what he's got as kind of like a not a middle finger, but kind of like turning the other cheek to the way the MMA media has been regarding promoting of its superstars. I think maybe that's a good way for him to like subtly dig at how the UFC fixes matches, or not fixes meaning the fixes in, but how they how they align fighters to fight against each other. Not that they're fixing the the actual matches. Don't get me twisted here, but how they how they're setting the matches up, and how they're promoting the fighters and promoting the wrong people, and not giving enough spotlight to giving the spotlight to the ones with the loudest mouths instead of the one. So I see that, and I'm just hoping it won't last more than a couple fights before Porier will have to fight someone serious. I don't mind him taking like a 1 or 2 fight glory run of just trotting it out and styling on former UFC greats. That's fine, and Poirier has definitely earned his spot at doing that. So I mean, I don't think you can really hate it. It'll be interesting to see a lot of these matchups, how they end up playing out, and certainly the Gon and Nagano will be a big part of what's going on with the UFC's heavyweight division going forward as well. So not too much on UFC. We kind of haven't had any real major matchups. We're waiting on the Ortega Holloway, Ortega and Volkanovski fight. We're waiting on. Kind of that's the next real major UFC stepping stone that I'm most interested in. Now switching over to the NBA and just a couple quick things. Like, I know I shat on the NBA, how it's structured a little bit last time around with like the point structure. That in my mind comes second to the most significant problem that the NBA has right now, which is manufactured non-parity in the NBA, manufactured non-parity in a sports league in general. How the economics and the dynamic of how the NBA is structured. It's like how you say football is a league of parity, and the NFL is a league of parity, that it's able to, like, if you go 2-14, well, last year, so I guess it would be 2-15 this year. So you go like 2-15 this year in the NFL. With those draft picks, you're expected to be able to produce a winning team in a couple years, because you are getting those draft picks. In the NBA, you could pick first-round draft picks 5 years in a row. It won't really matter, because your players are just gonna get poached from you by higher preferred destinations of the NBA players, and whoever's superstar at that time. Now, Giannis, maybe he threw a monkey wrench into that, and some players are going to want to go out in Milwaukee. But I think that overall is like, I can say my differences with like the technical aspects of how basketball is played, but that's just how it's to be played. If basketball chooses to be played in a way that rewards the easiest points, rewards easy points to get more than it should, by account of probability and how hard it is to get, then that's what they want to. That's what they want to do. Fine. That's the game. That is how it is set up. But I would. I think at the core, if you want to talk about like, okay, let's just. What is the core issue that's because the game has set up just the way it's set up, and how you're able to exploit it is at your physical and mental ability. But I would say the main issue with the NBA right now is non-parity and going too far in a direction where teams feel like it's pointless for them to even own, other than the fact that it's making money. I mean, the purpose of owning a team is because you think you can win, and if your system is good, if your farm system is good, if you're developing good, and you're unable to win just because of the setup, then I think that's an issue at its core, and I think that's gonna. If there wasn't as much this would be more of an issue if there wasn't as much money in the NBA, and the players are paid, egregious amounts because of the dynamics of the NBA, and that you only need 20-man rosters. You don't need 52 man rosters like they have in the NFL. So you can pay veteran role players like $20 million a year, and you can't do that in the NFL. But the number one issue with the NBA right now is non-parity, and if you don't feel like your team can win based on its geographical location, that should drive ownership away. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I love the NFL, is it's a year-to-year league. Even though Tom Brady has been dominating, it's never been secondary, any sort of huge secondary threat all the time. It's always been different sets of teams that have caught fire and almost had the right formula, but wasn't quite there, and with the NBA, it's just not like that. And I think I think at the end of the day, if the ultimate goal of your players, if the large majority of the people around you isn't to win an NBA championship, which it isn't, because money and location come first. And so can we all agree that is a higher priority than winning an NBA championship for a lot of players, right? I don't think I'm going out on a limb there. I think you can use a lot of evidence to support that. So right now, even if you feel it's 50-50, that half the players want to genuinely win the championship, half the players want to get as paid as they can and be in a nice location. Even if it's at half and half, then that's a problem, because I don't think you're able to have a functioning sports league and have that not be winning a championship not be the overwhelming desire of everybody involved in it. And for better or for worse, that's why I do not stack LeBron with greatest of all times, with other greatest of all times, because I think every other greatest of all time left the sport in a better situation. That the sport overall was better for them having been involved with it. They dominated. But I think also that the sport was better off for them having been involved in it. Now, I'll use the following examples. Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was a GOAT, a greatest of all time, and the sport of hockey was tremendous after him. He created 5 to 10 years of amazing hockey with how he played the game and how he revolutionized the game, and passing first and setting people up and becoming a dominant passer, and just being such a threat on the ice from both a passing and shooting. He really made sure that the sport that he gave his all into the sport, so that people would follow him, so that the sport would be better off. Okay, Gretzky, a GOAT, because because of that shit. Tiger Woods, another greatest of all time, and I don't think you can deny that that he was so great that the sport of golf afterwards had become such a reflection of what he put into the game, and such a positive reflection back from the other, like, in the other golfers that were undoubtedly influenced by Tiger and Tiger's game, and they tried to be like Tiger. Jordan, fucking same thing. Like Tom Brady, same thing. Like the game of NFL is amazing because Tom Brady was like, no, fuck you, you're not knocking me off my mantle for so long. And now look at like the levels that quarterbacks have stepped up to. Like I've never felt better about like the amount of talent in the NFL as I do right now. Like it feels like we are really hitting a amazing point in talent and level of play in the NFL, and like that's Tom Brady. What can we say about the things we can say about, let me put it this way, the things we can say about Michael Jordan and about him and his GOAT status, I don't think we can say the same thing about LeBron, and I don't think the game of NBA is better because of LeBron. I think like he turned it into something that is similar to soccer, where you're trying to draw fouls and trying to trying to play off the referees and have it be a more of a ballet than a fucking than an athletic competition. And it's I don't think, like, a lot of people say it's Michael and LeBron, like, and I don't think that, and I think I put Kobe ahead of LeBron in ranking just how great they are, and wanting to take over in that moment, and championships won, and maybe in the next 4 years LeBron can catch up to the amount of championships Kobe has, but I put him ahead of there. And I think that we're missing, but people feel the way they feel about LeBron because he's been telling them he's the greatest for ever since he's came out of high school and into the NBA. Okay, and so I mean, when you set those expectations up for yourself, I don't think it's unreasonable to, and I've been saying this for a while now, and people have been calling me out for it, but I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Kobe was a greater player than LeBron overall. If their careers ended, say if LeBron never played another fucking another basket, I say, I would put Kobe ahead of LeBron if LeBron never played again. And he's 36, so that's not unreasonable to think of, or that's not an unreasonable position to take, because overall he's not the greatest. Give Kawhi or KD or Giannis, all these guys, he's not miles ahead of these guys. These guys are very on level with him, very on point with him, and maybe the NBA, maybe I'm wrong, and the NBA will come out after this better. I really don't see it. Like, I see it's a lot more the NBA's gotten a lot more like America's Next Top Model than it is compared to football. It's gotten more about like a fucking popularity contest than anything when basketball is rough. But maybe the technological advancements happen where we can exactly deduce like when somebody is getting fouled and when they're blocker charge type of where the it's like a microsecond faster where we're able to deduce that in real time. then who knows? Maybe, but for right now, for the short-term future, it's a little bit of a shit show, and you know, it's just kind of silly, like when like a just super team, you know, there's like 2 or 3 teams that can possibly win the championship at the end of the day. There has to be a better way.